why and how I vlogged my 2025 Appalachian Trail through hike. Good morning. Welcome to the channel. It's not a very nice day today. It's kind of lightly raining, 42 degrees here in Western Massachusetts. And I've been going to the gym a few days a week, but I really haven't been hiking much since I finished my AT Thru-Hike at the end of August 19th. So I want to try to get back into doing some daily hiking. And today I'm just walking the road at a local state forest. It's a really nice walk, and I did a lot of training up here for the AT, and it's perfect on a day like today. So today I wanted to talk about vlogging your through hike. Well, I vlogged my entire AT through hike from Georgia to Maine this year. I did a total of 187 videos. I did daily videos. And, the first thing I want to talk about is, and I was asked this question more than a few times on trail, why did you vlog your hike, or why are you vlogging your hike? And, the answer to that question for me, the number one reason was so that I could have the memories of the experience. I could capture the moments, the scenery, and most importantly, the people that I met during that journey. And I wanted to have a record of it so that someday when I'm much older, I can relive those memories and watch my videos. And it is definitely a lot of work vlogging your through hike. It's not for everybody. I had some people comment to me that they felt it would take away from the hike for them. But for me, it was part of my hike. I had vlogged my through hike of the Vermont Long Trail in 2021. So I had some experience with shooting video on trail and, maintaining a daily schedule of shooting video and saving the video, editing, etc., and posting it. But I would encourage you to take a lot of video during your through hike, and even if you choose not to post it publicly on YouTube, some people aren't aware of the fact that you have three options when you post a video on YouTube. You can list your video as public, private, or unlisted. And obviously if you make it public, then everybody has access to it. If you make it private, only people that have your permission can view the video. And if you just, keep it with a link, anybody that has access to that link can view the video. So even if you're not into, sharing the experience with everyone, you could pick select family members, for example, or friends, close family and friends, and just simply share the videos with them. And then you wouldn't feel so pressured, to edit the videos and have everything just right, like myself. And I know a lot of the other YouTubers that I've interacted with, we put a lot of time and effort into trying to make our videos, look nice. For me, one of the positive things about vlogging my hike and making my videos public was the support I got. My subscribers grew as I made my way up the trail, and the number of comments that I got increased, and 99% of them are just so positive and supportive. If you do decide to publicly vlog, your hike, you will run into some people who will make some negative comments or just be critical. It's hard to learn to let them go, but over time you just learn to ignore those and just focus on the majority of the positive comments. You know, personally for me, my mother is going to be 82 soon, and you know, she lives alone. Lost my dad about 1.5 years ago, and she lives in Florida. So for her, it was a way to see me on a daily basis. You know, she was worried about me being out there on trail, and it was very reassuring for her. She would tell me to see me every day and hear my voice. So if you do decide to vlog your hike, you know, here's some of my recommendations. You don't need much equipment in order to vlog your hike. You don't need, in my opinion, you know, an expensive camera system, and everybody has a phone. What I did is I went and bought a new iPhone 16 Pro Max before I started the hike, and that was what I shot all my video and edited my video on. And then I just got a lightweight tripod. I used the tripod for group photos and mostly for walk away or walk to shots on trail. If you watched my channel, then you saw me do a lot of that in the beginning. Did less of it as I moved on, but that's really all you need is your phone and a lightweight tripod. The other advice I have is to go out and practice shooting video. Just take your phone out with you on your practice hikes, your training hikes, and just practice talking to the camera. It does take a little while to get comfortable with it, and you'll learn about, you know, what works best for you in terms of how to hold it. Most of the time I would just hold my camera. I didn't even use my tripod for doing what I'm doing now. Just simply hold my phone out in front of me, off to the side. And you know, I have to keep taking breaks today because I'm talking a lot and my shoulder's on fire and just starts getting tired. So the video software or the app that I used for editing was InShot. And I did the pay version of InShot. It was less than $50 or around there, but I found that was worth it. And you know, I practiced with InShot before I started the trail. If you go back through my channel, you see I did a lot of training hikes, and as part of that, I would shoot video, and then I would practice editing the video with my InShot. I find it really simple to use. You know, it's capable of doing a lot, but I just use it for basic editing, adding music, you know, the transitions. You can really get technical with it if you wanted to make fancy thumbnails. I try to keep it pretty basic. And in terms of the music, I will say that for years now I've used Epidemic Sound, and to me there's just no other source for copyright free music. I pay a monthly fee for that. I think it's around $20 a month. And there's thousands and thousands of songs from every genre. And you can search for whatever it is that you're looking to do for the mood. And I think that's, for me, it worth that $20 a month to be able to get access to quality music that's copyright free. When you're training with shooting video, my advice would be to try to get practiced at holding the camera steady, particularly when you're panning, when you're, you know, doing a view. It's just, you know, look at it from the perspective of a viewer. You know, if you watch a YouTube hiker's video and they're moving around a lot, I would get a little car sick from time to time. And, you know, it was too bad because I would continue to watch that particular hiker's videos, but I'd end up having to look away just because there was too much motion. When you're holding your camera, just practice moving smooth. Now, if you want to look off to your left at some point, just move the camera slowly, smoothly. And today's camera systems have great, stabilization built within them. It just takes a little bit of effort on your part to keep your shots smooth, and they're easier and more pleasant to watch. I would generally start my day out with my video with some sort of introduction, talking about, how I slept, my plan that day, how many miles I was going to be hiking, if there was anything of particular interest coming up that day, like a viewpoint or something, I might mention that, talk about how I feel, and then I would go on and shoot my video. I would generally try to get my walk away shots, if I was going to do them, my walk to shots, I would get that done early. And honestly, a little behind the scenes information, I would generally get the walkaways and walk tos done within the first hour or so. And once those were done, I would just focus on taking video of the trail as I was walking, updating the viewers on how I was feeling and how the terrain and how the weather was. And then at the end of the day, I would just recap everything from the day, how many miles I did, where I ended up, and how I was feeling. So just kind of have a general routine every day that your viewers can expect. Another tip or some advice I would share is include people in your videos. The people you're hiking with, the people that you meet. I mean, not everybody's going to want to be in your video, but I personally would always ask people, hey, do you mind being in a video? I post on YouTube 99.9% of the time. People were fine with that. There was one guy, I don't know what he did for a job. He was young, like in his 20s, but he said he had recently left some government job and he politely declined to be in any of my videos. And I was like, okay, no problem. But capturing the people that are around you, the trail community is just awesome. It was my favorite thing about the Thru-Hike overall, was just meeting the people. And those are some of those memories that I wanted to capture. So, if you see an opportunity, like I would just meet random people on trail, be just the two of us. And, during small talk, I would learn something curious or interesting about them. And so I would ask, hey, do you mind if I talk to you a little bit on camera and put it on my channel? They all said yes, because there are a lot of interesting people that you're going to meet on trail from all different walks of life. And those memories and those interactions were important. If you do decide to publicly vlog your Thru-Hike, I should run down the nightly routine that I used to stay organized, because that's the key. If you're going to be doing it on a daily, stay organized. So shoot my video during the day. When I got to camp at night, after I had dinner, usually before bed or right after I got in my tent, I would take all the video from the day and I would open up InShot, create a new movie edit, and I would dump all the footage from that day into the InShot app. I would save that, as day 187, and InShot would automatically put a date with it. And then I would go through and start the editing process, which was real simple. You're going to have a lot of stuff in your clips that just needs to be edited out. Like when you drop the camera down and move it back up, I would edit that out, stuff like that. Depending on how long the video was, I could finish editing that night. But most of the time I didn't finish editing that particular video for that evening. Wake up the next morning, follow the same routine, shoot my video, same thing at night. Always, never missed a night where, I didn't take the video from the day, put it in the app and save it. Because you're wearing the same clothes every day. And, trying to go back and figure out from 2 days ago or 3 or 4 days ago which video clips were for a particular day, it's just time consuming. And just found it easier to do that task every night, create that file. I'm out of shape. I'm breathing heavy. This is a really good hike. Well, road walk. But there's woods all around me. It's a steep climb up to the top of the state forest here, and then the road loops around and takes you back down. I think it's just under 5 miles. So the other thing I'd say, if you do decide to post your videos publicly, I would recommend you schedule them and have a delay. I think I started out with a 10-day delay on my videos, and at times that would drop down to a week, 7 days. This will give you an opportunity to create your videos, get them into your software, edit them, and then when you go into town at a hotel or a hostel, hopefully they have good internet, and then you can upload the video to your YouTube channel. When you upload it, you have the option of scheduling it. You can schedule it out, your calendar opens up, and you can schedule it out for as far in the future as you want. Again, I would recommend the 10 days. Again, it gives you time to edit the videos. And also it's a safety thing. When you're uploading your videos, you'll also have the option to select the quality that you want the video to be played at. I personally used 4K. I think a lot of YouTubers, a couple that I've talked to, they use 1080p for quality. It uploads faster when you get to Wi-Fi. But what I find that the 4K gives you the best video if you're going to be watching it on a television or a computer or tablet. And I can see when I look at my YouTube analytics for my channel that slightly more than half the people who are watching my videos were watching them on a television. So you're going to get a much better picture quality if you use 4K. But it's up to you. I think I was maybe a little more than halfway through the Thru-Hike when I used up all that memory in my phone, 1 terabyte. I was like, oh my God. So then I had to start backing up my videos to Google Photos in order to make some space on my phone to be able to continue to save and edit videos. In closing, I would recommend that you take video of your Thru-Hike, and you can make the decision whether to post it publicly, privately, or link it on YouTube. I mean, I've used YouTube for years as an archive for family videos, Christmas mornings, birthdays, family vacations. I just have them all private. I have videos that are 10, 12 years old on my channel that only myself and my family members can actually view. So I think it's worth it. It is a lot of work, and if you start vlogging your hike and you find out that, it's just too much and you can't keep up with it, well then, you can always make the decision to stop. But if you have any questions, there's so much to cover in terms of the details. If you have any specific questions, please reach out to me. My email is linked in my YouTube description. I'd be happy to give you more information or answer any specific questions you have. this walk up here is reminding me again that I really need to get back out here. I do have some more plans coming up to hike, at least in May. One of the people I finished with from my family is planning a reunion hike for a couple weeks in Virginia on the AT. So, and then I've got some of my own plans to do some hikes as well. So you'll be seeing more of me. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, good night.